All right, let's get right into it. We need to talk about what's happening in France because it is wild. We're breaking down how a brand new government just completely fell apart, pretty much overnight. And we're not talking about a small country here. This is one of Europe's biggest players, now stuck in a state of total chaos. And listen, when I say chaos, I'm not exaggerating. A reporter for Bloomberg Television who was right there on the ground said it best. They just said, everything is collapsing. I mean, wow. So you have to ask, what on earth could cause a situation to get that bad that fast? Well, here's the part that's just mind-blowing. The timing. This old political dumpster fire, it all went down when the new prime minister had been on the job for just 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks. Think about that. That's less than a month to go from, hello, I'm the new PM, to goodbye, the government has collapsed. Okay, so let's break down what actually happened. The main event, the big headline, is the prime minister and his entire cabinet just up and resigned. Boom, gone. And that, as you can imagine, has sent French politics into a complete tailspin. So what was the trigger? What was the one thing that lit the fuse on this political bomb? To really get why everything fell apart so quickly, we've got to look at the one event that started it all. It all comes down to a major backlash from the Republican Party. Now, these guys are a big deal in France's traditional center-right, and they were not happy with President Macron's picks for his new cabinet. And here's the crazy part. They were upset even though some of their own people got jobs. It got so bad they actually scheduled a crisis meeting just to figure out if they even wanted to be part of the government. And that pressure? Well, that was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back. But here's the thing. This whole mess, it's not really about one prime minister or one angry political party. No, what this has done is peel back the layers on a much bigger, much deeper problem. A crisis that's all about one person, President Emmanuel Macron. And if you want to understand just how big his problem is, you only need to know one number, 16%. A recent poll found that Macron's positive opinion rating is just 16%. That is shockingly low. I mean, take a look at this. That tiny little sliver right there, that's his entire base of support. When a whopping 84% of people don't have a positive view of you, well, trying to build a coalition or get anything done, it's pretty much impossible. And that brings us to the core issue, the real structural problem here, a completely fragmented parliament. See, with support that low, Macron just doesn't have the political juice to bring people together. The whole political scene in France is fractured, with old parties losing power and new ones popping up. Getting everyone to agree on anything? Yeah, good luck with that. It's just not happening. So, you have to wonder, right? What in the world does President Macron do now? I mean, he is seriously backed into a corner, and as we're about to see, the list of good options is very, very short. And look, that's not just my take on it. Political experts watching this unfold are saying the exact same thing. One analyst put it bluntly, the options appear to be very, very limited. So this isn't just a tricky situation, it's looking more and more like a political dead end. Okay, so let's look at what's actually on the table for him. Option 1, he could call for new legislative elections. The big problem there? He'd probably just get another parliament that's just as divided. And you know who loves that idea? His opponents on the far right and the far left. Option 2, he could call for new presidential elections. Wow, that would be a huge, huge gamble on his own political future. And then there's the nuclear option, the most extreme path. He could just resign. So let's talk a bit more about those new elections, because that's the option everyone's talking about. But here's the catch. Pretty much every analyst says it would solve absolutely nothing. The new parliament would probably look just as fragmented as the old one. The far-right National Rally might even pick up some seats, maybe become the biggest party, but they still wouldn't have enough to actually be in control. So what do you get? More gridlock, the exact same problem. Okay, so you might be thinking, this is a lot of French political drama, but why should I care? Well, here's why it matters to all of us. France isn't just any country, it's a massive economic and military power in Europe. This kind of instability doesn't just stay within its borders. What happens next in Paris is going to send ripples all across the continent and, honestly, the world. So, when you boil it all down, here's the bottom line. France is facing political paralysis. There are no easy answers, no good options. It's genuinely unclear how they can put together a stable government right now. And that creates this huge cloud of uncertainty. not just for the French people, but for everyone watching. And that leaves us with this huge, looming question. When you have a president this unpopular, a political system this broken, and no clear path forward, what does the future of government even look like in a country as important as France? That's the question that leaders in Europe and all around the globe are asking themselves right now. And you can bet they'll be watching very, very closely to see what happens next.